Hey guys, the chicken is here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, a little bit under the weather, to be honest. So we're gonna struggle to get through this one, but there's been a lot of interesting ideas and talk about season 33 and the starting tech path. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this today. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be going live on Monday morning at 3 or 4 a.m. Eastern time. I still don't know what the time is. But 3 or 4 a.m. Eastern time, we will be going live right here. All you got to do to make sure you don't miss is just simply subscribe to this channel. If you really want to, excuse me, you can turn on the post notifications and then you'll for sure not miss anything. But yeah, make sure that you are tuned in if you don't want to miss out. So now, as we saw in yesterday's sneak peek, we know the whole tech tree now, so we know that we have bullet off the start and barrage. So I think an important thing to note is we actually only need to get barrage to tick 4. Tick 4 is going to allow us to use 2 barrage to take out 2 engine rooms at 2 ER and also at 3 ER. I think max barrage is going to be more important once we get up to 4 engine rooms. And here's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking at first, it's probably going to be best to skip the shock launcher. Now, this is something we are 100% definitely going to be coming back to at some point throughout the season. You know, we also have our shock bombs back here, so we're going to want to grab those. Unfortunately, they stuck medics in the way. But yeah, this is going to be the defensive path if you want to go this route. So I would actually suggest doing this if you don't have a ton of keys. Maybe if you finished in, like, I don't know, rank 18 or lower, getting to barrage quickly is not really going to help you out as much as the other players who are going to be able to get barrage, rank up bullet, get it to tick 4 right away. And yeah, so that's kind of my plan. Little break. Now, as we move forward throughout the tree, I think what it's really going to come down to is just simply rushing to artillery. Because if we look at artillery, the damage it does is 1,400 damage, right? Now, I believe the damage left on an engine room at 2 barrage at max level. I could be wrong on this, but I think it needs 1 art, and I think the artillery only needs to be, it doesn't need to be ranked up at all to take it down. So that's going to be important. Another thing that's going to be important, considering that we're going to be in a BART meta, is we want to make sure that we have a lot of gunboat energy. So maxing out the gunboat is typically not something we always do at the start of the season. You know, we always max out the landing crafts. We may not need to max out the landing crafts right away, although I probably would anyways, because it's going to be a good investment later on. And, you know, if we need to use riflemen, why not use the maximum amount we can? You know, that's just something you're going to do if you're going to go to barrage and you don't have a ton of tokens. But I would invest in the gunboat, especially knowing, like I just said, it's going to be a BART meta. So yeah, the gunboat energy here is definitely nice too, but you know, that's going to come at the cost of some keys, so you have to plan that out. Yeah, it might be worth grabbing. You know, I'm thinking that I'll probably pick that up as well, probably on day 1. But yeah, I'm thinking we're just gonna stay on the top path there, get our mortars. Yeah, because we can get our mortars. We have to get Zukas either way. Well, not either way, but I'm thinking that's going to be the better of the 2 choices, is to get Zukas, and then we can come around and get our prototype here at some point as well. And then we move forward here, and like I said, I think the race on day 1 for the global leaderboard is just going to be simply who can get barrage and artillery the fastest, and who's the most proficient at simply tapping on the screen and throwing a bunch of barrage and artillery at the same time. Now, we do have bombers pretty early, but you know, in this meta, I don't see them being that useful. Bombers are good when we have a lot of defenses and the bases are hard to get through, or they're hard to take down just in general. So bombers in a meta that doesn't have a lot of defenses and is just purely about speed, I don't see them being that good right away, so obviously we're going to unlock them. But I would not max them out because they are somewhat expensive to max out, and especially right before artillery. Actually, they're not that expensive, really. But yeah, I would hold off on that for right now until we, until we get out of the BART meta, at least anyways. All right, taking a breath, taking a breather. So as we go through 4 ERs, we have this path on the bottom here with our building damage and some extra defenses, but again, I don't think those are going to be super important. Probably something we're going to want to come back for at some point. And you see here, we actually have heavies in Kavan. This is actually a super interesting tech tree, and from all the comments I saw yesterday, everyone kind of feels pretty good about it. We'll see how it actually plays out. I'm interested to see what the BART meta is actually going to consist of exactly, and we're not going to know that until the season actually starts. But having heavies in Kavan before 5 ER, and like having heavies so late and Kavan kind of early is definitely interesting. We also have shock mines rated 4, so I think this is going to be a nice 1, 2, 3 unlock right here as we come through 4 engines. And it really opens things up. The shock mines are going to be huge because they're going to be able to really slow down bullet. Because from what I assume is a lot of people are going to be using bullet and energy drink to just simply rush down the engine rooms. Now, with bullet, he does have that bug too with shock knuckles where he comes around the corner really quickly. So that could also be a thing. Depending on how long it takes him and what level you have him at, that might only be useful if you have him ranked up enough where he's doing enough damage to the engine rooms. Otherwise, if he just gets there and he just still takes forever to take it down, you might still be better off with the energy drink just simply for the extra damage. But something to think about nonetheless. So as we move forward this way, we have another multi-node here. So, I mean, we have a lot of good prototypes and defenses this season. It's just that we don't have the building health to support them. So I don't think they're going to be as strong. But grappler, it could be nice for bullet as well. That's going to force you to it's going to force you to either take it out or not rush the engine room as well with bullets. So that's interesting that they have a grappler kind of early on in the season. It'd be really interesting if they had it like super early on in the season. And yeah, because I don't think we've ever had a prototype defense right out of the gates, but either way, it's still early on. Most people get it within the first week. So as we move forward here, guys, we have our first building health after 5. So after 5 engines, I think that's where we're going to switch to using bombardiers. Now, we still have our first building health, but since we have barrage and artillery, we're still going to be in somewhat of a BART meta, just simply removing engine rooms with gunboat energy. And we're also going to be, we also have bombardiers at this point. So my guess is around 5 ER is when it's going to turn into, you have to free clear maybe 3 engines and then save up gunboat energy and then BART out 2 of them, something like that. We saw a lot of those kind of hits last season. So I imagine it'll be pretty similar, especially in this area. As we get up and beyond 5, it gets kind of hard to predict. We do have tanks right in front of the 70R, which I don't like, but we have a lot more prototypes. We got a Sky Shield. We have this multi-node, which is really interesting. We have the rocket launcher and the shock launcher. I believe this multi-node was available early on in one of the early warship seasons, but Shish put one in last season, or the season before last season, I guess. And I guess the team liked it because they did the same thing. So that's cool. I mean, make the multi-nodes interesting. Like, there should always be something exciting that ideally, they're all good options, and it's not just one that's really good, right? All right, so we have our troop health over here, crying ears, which will probably not be unlocked, scorchers as well. They got the troop health jammed right in there in the middle, but yeah, that's basically it. So that's kind of my plan for day 1. I want to know what your guys' plan is. Let me know down below in the comments. Are you going to rush to artillery, or do you think it's going to be more about defenses and maybe you have a different strategy than kind of what the chicken put out there today. But either way, interested to know and just see your guys' overall thoughts on where we're going. And again, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you do not want to miss that live stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get up to gold right away again, but we'll see how the season unfolds. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.